Hi everyone. So I've recently had the question in the community. Someone asked, I want to display a SharePoint list calculated column or create a calculated field on the form. They asked, I have several fields that need to be calculated when other fields are entered. So they need to have a triggering for when to populate a field or show something. For example, percentage of ownership times GAV. So let's jump across to a form and let's build it out. So I've got something working through here at the moment. So we've got percentage of ownership, which is a integer field. We've got GAV at share, and we've also got a label or a group with the label GAV at share. Now the way that I've got about this is the input field, and when that input field is populated, then I want to calculate and populate this field here, and I also want to show it on the label here. So if we go to preview and just run through this, I say percentage of ownership is 2, then it calculates and says 4. So obviously it's 2 times 2 equals 4. Now this is populating a number control. So you can see here it's a number control. This is actually a variable and a label, or a label with a variable inside it. So I went ahead and created a variable through the variables tab, and if you can see here, it's form percentage of ownership, or of ownership, because percentage symbol is a restricted character type, or a restricted character, and then it's times 2. So we get that calculation in the variable, and then that allows us to come to here and insert a variable here. So you can now have your text and your variable placed here. Now the other question he asked was, well, what if I had, he wanted to trigger something to change when some other field was populated. So this is when you start to use rules. And so rules are saying, so set the value when if of ownership is filled, then the GAV at share, which is the first number control, it's read-only, sets the value with the variable. So you can click on the insert and create a variable or insert it. Otherwise, if it's not filled, then it sets it to blank. So that's how we make that conditional field setting, and that's also how we're populating that label. So if we come through to here and we say 20, GAV at share is 40. If I clear that, it sets it to blank. Now this is always going to calculate to 0. It has to have some sort of value, so its share value is 0. So that's how you can have your values calculated inside the form. However, a SharePoint calculated value column isn't supported in Nintex Forms. So we do have the ability to do calculations within Nintex Forms and push that back into a column. However, having the SharePoint calculated column, put back into Nintex is just not possible. So if you come back to here, you can still get your calculation done as you saw before, and then you can also bind the output of this, the value placed in here, into a column here. Now what you'll notice is this only shows one column, whereas we obviously have the title column. Now title isn't showing up here because if I drag on a email control, this is a text-based control, or basically single line of text. Now if I select on the email control, it now shows me title, but it doesn't show me GAV at share. And that's because each control will only allow you to bind to the associated data types. So just if you're wondering, that's why those things are occurring. So hopefully that answers the question. Let me know in the comments. Cheers.